Made way back in 2003 for the PS2 and the GameCube, this game focuses on the most badass bounty hunter, Forlom. Nah, I'm kidding. Forlom, you don't get the spotlight yet. It's actually made about Jango Fett. That's right, the feared father of Boba Fett and the template for the Grand Army of the Republic. Now, seeing as story is the strongest part about this game, I'll be focusing mostly on that instead of the mechanics, although we may mention them later. So let's get started. The game starts off with Count Dooku talking to his Sith master Darth Sidious about what should happen about a former apprentice of his named Kamari Vosa. She was a former Jedi and now leads a group called the Bando Gora, basically futuristic space assassins of death. Now, they deal with death sticks, which is kind of like marijuana that can actually kill. Now, I know that this premise seems kind of boring, but trust me when I say it is not, because Count Dooku has a good idea for once in his life, and that was the Great Hunt, where mercenaries and bounty hunters from across the galaxy would be contracted to kill Vosa for a grand prize of 5 million Galactic Republic credits, a mountain of cash, and the chance to become a template for the clone army. So this is basically a prequel to the second movie, and it's actually really good. It shows how everything got started with the clones. Back to the story, Jango isn't the only one invited to this party, because Dooku and Sidious needed more than one candidate for the template to make sure it was the best. So they get Jango's rival Montross, who was introduced as this game. He and Jango were Mandalorian bros on the front lines, fighting and bleeding together. They were good friends until Montross decided he wanted power and left Jango's mentor to die alone on the battlefield. After that, they weren't friends again. Now you see, because of this, Montross is the main villain of the game, the one you fight the most instead of Vosa. Now this makes sense in the story too, because it really does grow the characters. Like Jango himself, it gives him more than just he fought Mace Windu and died. And it does so too with Zam. Yes, she's introduced in this game, and it shows how they actually started out, the Changeling and the Bounty Hunter. They didn't actually like each other at first, mainly because Zam was the reason Jango's original ship got blown up. Oh yeah, did you know that he had a ship before Slave 1? Well, he did. It was destroyed, and so in retaliation, he blew up the asteroid prison they were on, an intergalactic space prison, to steal Slave 1 from the officers and complete a mission he was on, and picking up Zam along the way. This game introduces characters in the best of ways. It weaves story and gameplay together. It does so with Roz too. Yeah, Roz is not known in the universe because no one usually played this game. She was Jango's mother figure, and her death at Montross's hands when he blew up again a space station really hit home. So even for a game as linear as a blaster bolt, it's good. And the story is made even better for all of its linearity by the combat mechanics. That's right, it's weapon time. You get to choose from a whole arsenal of Jango Fett's signature weapons, be it a Gatling gun laser or a thermal detonator or back-mounted rockets, kind of like Arnold Schwarzenegger if he went off the deep end and completely went bonkers. Or would you go for his dual pistols, his flamethrowers, and his Camino saber darts? You know, something the classic Jango of the movies would have. Or would you even challenge him to fisticuffs? Because, you know, guns, they're just too fucking safe for me. You see, this is why the game stands up to modern war, current gen games, even current gen sci-fi games. I mean, the story is basically the best because it makes you care about the characters. And it doesn't drive the mechanics drive it. That's why I give this game a thumbs up. Yeah, I know, a game from 2003, but it still gets a gold star in my book, and I urge you guys to check it out. Who knows, you might have even just found a new favorite game.